Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to College Basketball Courtside, the podcast to come to if you're looking for everything college basketball, stats, predictions, reactions. Welcome to the show. Today, going to be covering the massive Tuesday slate that we had on the schedule. A couple of ranked games, a couple of game winners, really good showing on the Tuesday slate. A couple of upsets as well. Going to cover the rest of the games to watch this week, so Wednesday and Thursday, and then going to go over the top 5 player of the year rankings that I have so far into this season. We're officially 1 month into the season, with today being December 3rd. So going to cover the top 5 players in the country so far. We'll get right to it, starting off with Tennessee versus Syracuse. You guys, the first game of the night starts off with a banger. Syracuse upsets the Vols 62-60. Tennessee jumped up to 13 in the recent AP poll, but Syracuse takes them down. They've been ice cold. Tennessee has since beating Houston. They had that really good win against number 3 Houston in the Players Era tournament, but they've been kind of sliding ever since. Syracuse is 71st in KenPom without their leading scorer Donnie Freeman, and they still take down a 14th ranked Tennessee. And those numbers are according to KenPom. Nate Ament finally had his freshman game. He had 11 points, 2 of 10 shooting, 7 turnovers. Just not gonna cut it. If you want to win any basketball games. Jacoby Gillespie had a bad game as well. He only had 10 points on 5 of 12 shooting and 0 of 3 from the 3, which is usually his bread and butter. Shout out Jalen Carey. He had 22 points and 9 rebounds off the bench for Tennessee. He was one of the lone bright spots in this game for Tennessee. But for Syracuse, Nate King's 19 points and 6 of 10 shooting. 4 guys were in double figures. Syracuse only had 7 assists and they had 16 turnovers. That is unreal. That was so much one-on-one basketball, which usually does not work against a Tennessee team. Usually they're much better defensively, and they only gave up 62 points. But one-on-one usually does not beat this Tennessee team. But Tennessee had 17 turnovers. Again, Nate Emmett had 7 of those by himself. For Tennessee, it's not getting any easier. I can tell you that much. They take on Illinois in their next game, followed by Louisville, two of the best offenses in the entire country. So they have a lot to figure out. Tennessee does. Again, they had that huge win against Houston, which jumped them up in the polls, and now they've dropped a couple since that game. They're 1-2 since. So really frustrating if you're a Tennessee fan. If you're a Syracuse fan, now is the time to get healthy. You play St. Joseph's, and then you play Hofstra in the next couple of games with other mid majors as well. So a lighter schedule, get healthy, get Donnie Freeman back, and build some momentum from this. You had a pretty good Players Era tournament. You pushed Houston to overtime. That was kind of the lone highlight of Players Era, but Syracuse has got to keep going. But on to the next game, Big Ten matchup: Iowa versus number 7 Michigan State. Battle of two great point guards, not only in the Big Ten but in the entire country. Bennett Sturts for Iowa and Jeremy Fears for Michigan State. Michigan State comes out on top, 71-52. For Iowa, they just really struggled in the first half to score. Bennett Sturts, he was held to just 14 points on 4 of 10 shooting. I know it may not sound like the worst game ever, but for Bennett Sturts, it's a really down night. No one else for Iowa even scored in double figures. I'll get to that later. Just really worried about that, not having a second option. But for Michigan State, their defense was locked in. This is a really good Bennett Sturts team. It's basically as Bennett Sturts, but he's unbelievable. No one's been able to stop him so far, and Michigan State was able to. I know Tom Izzo came in with a great game plan. They only had 4 steals, Michigan State, but they just played straight up great defense. 38% shooting for Iowa from the field, 30% 3-point shooting from Iowa. So not a great game in terms of efficiency for the Hawkeyes, but we kind of saw this coming with Michigan State, that their defense is that good. Michigan State played sloppy actually on the offensive end. 14 turnovers, only 13 assists. They shot 3 of 12 from 3, which is typical this year and last year. This is not a 3-point shooting team, and they know that. But they did shoot it really well at the line, 22 for 25. They were really strong, taking it to the hole, playing really physical. That's what ultimately won them this game, I think. Cohen Carr led the way. He had 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting. Jackson Kohler, 12 points, 11 rebounds. He's been a double-double machine. I have to look up, where he ranks in the country, but I'm sure he's top 5 in the country in double doubles. He's been a monster. With Iowa, again, just super concerned about not having a second option. It's been at Sturts, and then what else? No one else is even averaging more than 10 points per game. So just really, really concerned with Iowa moving forward. They have one of the best players in the entire country, but that's not going to be enough against these ranked teams like a Michigan State, or like a Michigan, like a Purdue in the Big Ten. But MSU gets a good Big Ten win, and they hold one of the best players to an off night. Nice job, MSU. But on to the next game, and probably game of the night, I would say, in terms of just coming down to the wire. Number 15, Florida takes on number 4, Duke. Duke ends up winning on a game-winning shot with about 10 seconds to go from Isaiah Evans. They win 67-66. But if you watch this game like I did, I watched almost every single second. You knew Isaiah Evans was due, but you just didn't know when. Uh, he was 0 of 7 from 3 before he took that final 3 with 10 seconds to go, and he just drilled it. So he finished 1 for 8. That's a shooter's mentality. He had all the confidence in the world when he was shooting that shot. A little pick and pop, uh, wide open. The guy was closing out pretty hard though, and he just drilled it. But for Duke, I mean, he struggled. But it's Cam Boozer. My God, he's playing so good. He continues to just cement himself as one of the best players in college basketball. I mean, watching him against this Florida team, Ruben Chinyelu, he's made from marble. It looks like really big, strong, physical guy, just a monster human being. And Cam Boozer has backed him down and has continued to work him. His footwork is so good. Uh, his pace is unreal. His balance. He's patient. He looks like a 10-year NBA vet with the way he plays the game. He just plays it so right. He's so fundamentally sound, and you can tell. Just makes the right plays. Finishes super well. Shot the ball well. Got to the line a lot. You could tell Chinyelu was getting frustrated because some of them were pretty quick calls. I'll give him that. But Cam Boozer, my gosh, he is so good. Unbelievably good. Again, one of the best players in the whole country. And then Patrick Ngangba, wow, this was a sweet game for him. I really like watching him play, especially in the defensive end. He had 5 blocks, also made 2 threes, 5 assists. Just really looking for others and holding on that defense. Duke's a really good defensive team. Holding a good big Florida front court to only 66 points is super impressive. All while being versatile, making threes, blocking shots, dishing the ball. He made a lot of really good passes. So he is a super versatile. I did not realize how good he was, but he is one of the best players on this Duke team, and I think he really is their X factor because he can have a little bit of a scoring punch. He can block a lot of shots. He can do a lot of different things in a night, but he does have a tendency to go quiet some nights. So he's super important to them. Nice job, Duke. For Florida, though, man, Xavier Lee, get ready to learn LinkedIn because he got benched, I think officially. He's unplayable. 1 for 10 shooting. Just looked really out of place. Looks uncomfortable. Never looks like any shot is like in rhythm. Like you saw Boogie Flynn, you can see how he kind of got in rhythm for about 10 minutes there at the end of the game. Obviously, he had that bad turnover that led to the Duke made 3. But he played really well in the last 10 minutes. He kind of got in a groove. He had a lot of their big shots. But Thomas Hawk, I mean, and he's his team's best player. It's not even close. The effort, the energy, the shot making, just getting into the hoop relentlessly. I didn't realize how good of an athlete he is. But he was dunking on people, blocking shots. He brings so much to this team. I love watching him play, and every team would kill to have him. But for Florida, it's Xavier Lee. He's the issue. I think you have to start Conchar and play him more. And hopefully that, being a bench spark plug could be the best role for Xavier Lee. Take the pressure off him a little bit, but really worried about him, really worried about this Florida backcourt. They had a good game, though, against Duke, who is one of the best teams in the country, obviously. So I'm impressed with Florida's fight, but they just continue to lose games against ranked teams, and they continue to lose games against unranked teams. So at some point you have to win. And unfortunately, Florida has not been doing that when they need to, in the big spotlight. But we move on to the next game. Number 5, UConn taking on number 21, Kansas. No Darren Peterson in this game, but Kansas continues to fight. Ultimately, they lose 61-56. It was a rock fight, the whole game, back and forth, back and forth. These are two really good defenses. We knew that coming in. I said it was going to be low scoring, both below 70 points. Both of them almost below 60 points. Kansas comes up short because of a great second half defensive masterclass from the UConn Huskies. They just kind of locked Kansas down. They couldn't do anything in the second half, scoring under 30 points. Without Darren Peterson, they lose that guy who can just go get one whenever he wants. But they're playing good, but they missed their star player, and he would bring so much help. These role players for Kansas have really stepped up, and they just need their star player back. But for UConn, Solo Ball and 5-star freshman Braylon Mullins each had 17. Really cool to see Mullins get going. I was disappointed when he hurt his ankle to start the year, so we missed him for the first month. But he's looked good when he's been back. Super talented, obviously great shot maker. He's gonna have a great year, and that's just even scarier for a really good UConn team. But you figure he's gonna slide into a starting spot. No Terrace Reed in this game. He continues to battle an injury. You would love to see him get healthy as well, because this UConn team is super talented. They just haven't been at full strength all year, which is crazy because they're number 5 team in the country and one of the best teams in the whole country. But they need to figure out how to get some offense. Kansas does, because without Darren Peterson, he might be out even longer. He's not going to rush his way back. With a top 3 pick, probably he's going to be. So why would he rush back? But they need to figure out how to win these close games, when you're not getting the offense. Flory Badunga didn't have a great offensive game, just didn't score that much. But they need to figure it out. Bad shooting game for both teams. Both of them are under 30% from 3. But moving on to the next game, UNC beats Kentucky. They win by 1 point. I did not write down the score. Why wouldn't I do that? That's fine. I got my keyboard right in front of me. UNC versus Kentucky. That's right, 67-64. I have all my notes. I just didn't have the score up. And I watched most of this game. 67-64. UNC takes it from Kentucky. They were down almost the whole second half. Just kind of battling, down 3, then down 5, down 7, down 1, maybe tie it up. Just battled the whole second half. And I was right to say my prediction that this front court for UNC would be too much. They both had double doubles. Caleb Wilson and Henry Vassar just kind of dominated. Caleb Wilson did have a rare, inefficient night shooting the ball, but he still had double-double. He still had about 4 assists. Just really versatile. Really versatile player Caleb Wilson is. It's really fun to watch him play. Henry Vassar, 17 and 10. They dominate Kentucky on the glass. I think that's what ended up winning this game for them. Just their interior play, both offensively and defensively, closing possessions down by not giving up offensive rebounds. Kentucky, they need Jane Quintanes back. For rebounding, for defensive purposes. He's obviously super talented. Any team would use him, but this Kentucky team needs him very, very bad. I know they're missing him. For Kentucky, though, Otega Owe, he had 16 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Pretty good game. Obviously, really efficient, over 50%. But you would like to see him be more aggressive. Try and go for 30. You play in UNC. How do you only get up 11 shots when you're shooting the ball well? I worry about his effort, his energy levels, and Kentucky, they now have 3 losses, and they're just not looking very good. They're not looking very sharp. I would not be scared playing Kentucky. They don't have that kind of fear they used to, instill into people. It's sad to see, but it's just the reality of Kentucky basketball this year. It's just the big guys are not inspiring. That's why I think Quintane's going to be so important when he gets back, but they just don't have an identity. I think it's the biggest issue for them. So they need to find that if they want a chance to win the SEC. I don't see them winning it right now, but the other top teams like Florida, they're not as good as we thought either. So I don't know what's going on with this Kentucky team, but they need to figure it out. They shoot 1 for 13 from 3. That's just not going to cut it. But good win for UNC. They battle, continue to play without Seth Trimble, one of their best players. So shout out UNC for getting a good victory there. Next game, late night game, newly ranked USC, number 24. They take on the Oregon Ducks. They win 82-77. Chad Baker-Mazar, he was the player of the game, 25 points, 4 steals. He continues to shine as a star for USC in his 12th year of college basketball. It seems like he's obviously played forever. He's the Unk of the Year at this point. But he has been really good all season long. Leading this USC team is now undefeated. USC shot 38% from three. For Oregon, Kwame Evans Jr. had 23 points, good efficiency. Takai Simpkins had 17. They shot 43% from three, but they got dominated on the glass. USC was way more physical on the interior. Nate Biddle is still out for Oregon, which obviously hurts them a lot because he's one of the best big men in the Big Ten. So they really struggle without him. Jackson Shelstead, 1 of 6 from three. Did have an efficient game, but just didn't shoot very well from the three-point range. They lose another game. They're just going to slide and slide. It's going to be a long season for Oregon fans, and I'm sorry about that because, I was really high on them coming into the year. I thought this could be the year they pulled together, and I was dead wrong. And I don't really see that changing. So Oregon continues to have a season from hell. Bad vibes team with Creighton, so sorry about that, Oregon fans. Good win for USC. They continue to be undefeated. Really excited to see them play in the Big Ten this year. Those are the biggest games from Tuesday night. Again, a lot of close ones, a couple of blowouts. Actually, really only one real blowout. USC Oregon was close, 82-77. Michigan State getting the only blowout win. But let's cover the other games you have to watch Wednesday and Thursday. This week, there's a lot of really good games. Day 2 of the ACC SEC Challenge. So let's get right into it. First, you need a little bit of coffee. Okay, it's early. Need my coffee. First game on Wednesday, December 3rd. Number 6, Louisville takes on number 25, Arkansas. Louisville is the second-ranked offense, according to KenPom. Let me zoom in on my notes here. They have the second-ranked offense, according to KenPom. They have the case for best backcourt in the whole country. Excuse me, Mikhail Brown Jr. and Ryan Conwell. Man, they've been so good. I'm going to read you their stats here. Ryan Conwell, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 1.4 steals, shooting at 46.5 from the field, 82.5 from the free throw line, and 45% from three. This absolute sniper from deep. Mikhail Brown Jr., 17 points, 6 assists, 40% from the field, only 30% from three, but he's still a threat from out there. You still really got to guard him because he can get hot. And then Isaac McNeely averaging 12 points on 43% from three. Pretty typical for him. He's a sniper. But, yeah, Louisville, 4th in points per game in the country. 2nd in three-pointers made. And they're shooting 37% from three. So they shoot a lot of threes. They make a lot of threes. That is a good case to win a lot of basketball games. And Ryan Conwell has just been a monster. He's so strong, so physical when he gets to his left hand. And he's shooting 45% from three on a ton of attempts. Like, he's just such a hard guy to guard, averaging 20 points per game. He's really stepped it up this year. And he was really good at Xavier. He's just taken his game to another level. For Arkansas, they had good shooting splits so far this season at 48.5% from the field, 80% from the line, 35.5% from three. But their offense has really struggled against good teams. They don't have anyone who can get their own shot besides Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff, the two talented freshmen. Carter Knox and DJ Wagner have been pretty disappointing in my eyes, but with Wagner, we've seen this movie before, so I'm not too shocked. With Carter Knox, I really was expecting more this season, so they're going to need more scoring from him in order for them to be competitive against these good teams like Louisville, these ranked teams, these SEC teams they're going to be playing here coming up shortly. But it's really going to be a battle of 2-star freshmen, Mikhail Brown and Darius Acuff. Super fun. They're both really smooth, great offensive players, which makes for some good basketball and some fun basketball to watch. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Louisville's going to come out on top because they're three-point shooting and just the number of options they have in the offensive end. Conwell, Brown Jr., McNeely, just a lot of options, and their big guys have been playing pretty well also. My prediction, Louisville's going to win by 10-plus points. I just think Arkansas has struggled to get some offense as of late. I think that they're just not clicking. They're not in a groove. They seem very out of sorts when they play, but they are talented. I just think Louisville is gonna. They're clicking so much right now. Their chemistry is awesome. I think they have too much firepower for this Arkansas team, and ultimately going to kind of dominate them, win by double figures. But we shall see. Next game, Clemson versus number 12, Alabama. Clemson likes to play it slow in the half court. Alabama obviously loves to run and gun. Clemson is going to have a hard time staying in front of Aiden Holloway, LeBaron Philon. I continue to say probably the best, or one of the best backcourts in the country, right there with Louisville. They've both been fantastic, and Clemson's guards just are not as talented, not even close, actually. No one on Clemson's averaging more than 11.6 points per game. That's Carter Welling, transfer from Utah. Nick Davidson, who's coming over from Nevada, I was really high on him. He had a good season last year, but he has really struggled. He's been outplayed by Carter Welling. People thought Welling would either come off the bench, which he has for a lot of the season, or be the power forward. Nick Davidson kind of be the star, but he's really struggled this year, not having a great season by any means at all. Clemson's best win so far is Georgia. The only other real test was a loss to Georgetown. And they just haven't had a great schedule yet. They play a really battle-tested Alabama team who's had probably the hardest schedule in the country, besides Oakland, really. Shout out Oakland. They have played such a hard schedule, but Alabama, I think this game will have too much speed, too much scoring. They're going to run the Tigers right out of the gym. I think, like the first game, I think this is going to be a blowout, 10-plus points, just because Alabama has way too much offensively. But if Clemson can slow this game down and keep it in the half court, I think they do have a chance because Clemson does have pretty good interior defense. So, again, Clemson, Alabama, I think Alabama's going to win this one, but going to be a good game nonetheless. Really good game. NC State versus Auburn, number 20. In my eyes, this would be the closest game of this challenge on this day. NC State versus Auburn, number 20. NC State has been ice cold as of late, losing to Seton Hall and Texas and Maui. They've really been struggling. Darian Williams did not have his best tournament. He's still having a fantastic year, though, averaging just under 19 points per game. But Auburn, they went 2-1 the Players Era tournament. They beat St. John's. They beat Oregon. They got pummeled by Michigan, but so did everybody. So not too worried about that game. This is going to be a very backcourt heavy game. Keyshawn Hall and Darian Williams are probably the two best big guards in the country. Just big, physical, get to the free throw line a lot. Keyshawn Hall, man, he has been so good. I love watching him play. He's just so crafty, so strong, uses his body really well, and just knows his game, doesn't settle for anything. Tahad Pettiford, he's looked really good. He had a good player's error, averaging 22 points per game. Finally came out of his shell that he was in to start the season. He was just cold. He's super talented. He came back, and now he's firing on all cylinders, so that's scary for this Auburn team in a good way. But NC State, I think Will Wade's going to have them come correct. They're going to be prepared. I think they're going to pull off the upset. They had a wake-up call in Maui. Anything can happen in Maui. Weird gym. So I think NC State, they have a lot of offense, a lot of offensive options. I think they're going to win this game. Again, Will Wade, I think he's going to have this team fired up and ready to go against a really good Auburn team. But I think NC State wins this game, so that's my upset of the night, even though it's going to be really close. I don't know what the line is, but I know it's going to be a close one nonetheless. But let's go NC State. I believe in you. I think you can win this game. But we cover another really fun offensive game, SMU versus number 17, Vanderbilt. Let's go Vanderbilt. Skying up in the rankings. They go to 17. They're both undefeated. Going to be such a fun game between two really good guards and Boopy Miller. Just a stat sheet stuffer. Really, really high efficiency. He's one of the best scorers in the whole country, averaging 20-plus points. And listen to these shooting splits. 49% from the field, 45.9% from three, 91.9% from the free throw line. Just unreal offensively. Just gets to whatever shot he wants. He's crazy explosive. Duke Miles for Vanderbilt, he's been really good. This Vanderbilt team, this plays together. If you watch them play, that ball snapping around, it's a really fun brand of basketball to watch. But the net ratings finally came out. That's where you hear all the quad one, quad two, so on and so forth. Um, that's the net ratings. And in the net ratings, Vanderbilt was fourth. That's crazy. SMU is 41st. Uh, I feel that feels pretty low. I think SMU is really good. I think they should be right outside the top 25. But this is a good measuring stick game for them. How good are they really? I think it's going to be a battle. I think Vanderbilt's going to end up winning this game because they have so much offense, and they've had some good wins this season. They've had a harder schedule. So I think Vanderbilt's going to win this game. They're on a heater, but it's going to be super close. This could be the most fun game of the night. Could be high scoring, 90 plus points for each team. Couple of guys could go for 30. So key into this game, if you guys want to watch up and down, super fun basketball. Both these teams are top 25 in assists. Like I said, they both just snap it around, and they both have a tremendous lead guard. So that's SMU Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's going to end up winning this one. Next game, Virginia versus Texas. Two big programs. Virginia's 38th in Ken Palm. Texas is 41st. Virginia has the 25th best offense, which is pretty surprising for a Virginia team. You think Virginia slow it down, not great offense, but really good defense. But not this year, 25th best offense. And that's because of star freshman. I really should have, pronounce his name. This Day Ritter. That's what I'm going to say. I don't know. But he's averaging 18 and 6. He's been a monster. For the Virginia Cavaliers. I've been really impressed with him. Really strong, physical, about 6'9", 240 pounds. And you could tell he uses his body really well, and is just really physical. For Texas, you need to watch Dylan Swain and Matis. Gosh, I got to work on my pronunciation. I got to do this beforehand. Matis Forkitatis. I don't think that's close, but we'll take it. This is a huge non-conference resume booster for both these teams who are looking to make the tournament and get a good seeding in the tournament. Both of them are probably right outside the top 25. Texas had a good win against NC State, and Virginia's had a good season as well. Again, been better in the offensive end than expected. But this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a close game, I think. I do think Texas is actually going to end up winning this one. They've been playing good basketball. They've been scoring the ball really well. So I think Texas is going to pull this one out. But wouldn't that be surprised if Virginia won this game? Now, next segment I want to dive into the top 5 player of the year rankings 1 month into the season. This isn't like betting odds or who I think is going to win it long term. This is if the award was given out today, who's going to win. That is what this award is. It's not who I think's going to win it. It's who would win it right now, because I think some of these honorable mentions are going to finish higher than honorable mentions. So let's get into those real quick after I get another sip of coffee. Got the Funkel mug out like a dad, only cooler. But honorable mentions, let's get into them for player of the year rankings. Again, if the award was given out today, 1 month into the season, JT Toppin, insane stats, 23 and 11, but no big wins yet for Texas Tech. They got crushed by Purdue, obviously number 1 team in the country, but 23 and 11. JT Toppin just been dominant. Had 35 in that game, so he's just been humongous. Braden Smith, he's been really inefficient shooting the ball this year, else he would be higher up. His steals have been cut in half. He averaged over 2 steals a game last year. Now he's only at about 1 steal per game. Still, obviously, an elite playmaker, takes care of the ball. Best distributor right there, Jeremy Fears, in the whole country. But his scoring's just been too efficient to put him higher on this list. And he just has not dominated like you would like to see. I just put BYU guys. It's so close between Richie Saunders and AJ Demancia. They both have been terrific, and you can actually probably throw Rob Wright in there as well. Their big 3 have been as advertised, super fun. So I would say just pick one of those guys. BYU's been really good all year, top 10 team. One of those guys deserves to be up there. I would probably go Saunders right now, 20 plus points per game on crazy efficiency. So I think I'd pick him at the moment, but Demancia's been really good as advertised as well. Just such an elite offensive player, one-on-one scorer. He's going to have a good NBA career, you can just tell. LeBaron Philon, really hard to leave him off this list. 20 points per game, 5.7 assists on 56% shooting. on a run and gun offense is super impressive. Why he's off the list, he's had some turnover issues, and he's only shooting about 63% from the free throw line, and I would like to see them have about one more ranked win. But really impressed with LeBaron Feinlein. He's been super fun to watch. He's probably he'd definitely be top 5 and must-see players if I made that list. Jeremy Fears, tough to leave him off this list. Super efficient, 12 points, 10 rebounds, bulldog defensively, leads the country in assists. 10 points, 12 points, 10 assists, leads the country in assists. He has just been so good for Michigan State. He's been the main reason, the main catalyst for why they've been so good this season. Are a top 10 team, so really tough to leave him off this list. But if he continues, I think he'll be higher than some of these other guys. Koa Peep, just rock solid. Wing for Arizona, kind of a model of consistency, just scores about 16 points per game. He had that huge game, 30 points against Florida in the opener, and he hasn't had 20 cents, but he's just had 16, maybe like a 10, maybe a 19. Just really, really consistent for this Arizona team, who's number 2 in the country. Top 5, let's get into it. Number 5, Joshua Jefferson from Iowa State. Talk about a guy who does it all. And you'll kind of see on this list, this is what this list is made of. Big wings, forwards, who kind of do it all. Joshua Jefferson, 17 plus points, 7 plus rebounds, 5 plus assists. I mean, just crazy versatility on really good efficiency. And this Iowa State team has some really good ranked wins. They've been one of the best teams in the whole country, I think. They have one of the best trios in the whole country. And Joshua Jefferson's been just like the main guy. Tamin Lipsey's had some big games, but he's also missed some games with injury. And Milan Momlasijevic, I think that was pretty good, has had some inconsistency this year, but he's been awesome. But Joshua Jefferson's just been rock solid. Just an awesome, super consistent player is Joshua Jefferson. So shout out him. He's at number 5 for Player of the Year rankings right now. If he continues this, he's going to be an All-American, no doubt in my mind. And Iowa State might have 2 All-Americans, so he's the offense that they need. Sometimes they can struggle offensively. Iowa State teams can, but he really helps them. He's a physical big wing or small center. So Joshua Jefferson, number 5. But coming out number 4, again, kind of another hybrid big who does a lot of things. Caleb Wilson, star freshman for UNC, 20 and 10, 59% shooting. Shooting 77% from the free throw line on 8 attempts per game. So he's super aggressive. He's really strong, draws a ton of fouls, and shoots it well. Again, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.3 blocks, 1.7 steals, about 59% shooting from the field. Just super consistent again. He plays his best in big games. He just had a good game against UConn last night. I've been impressed with his ball skills. Dribble jumpers, gets the hoop. Tough, crisp moves off the bounce. He's been awesome this year. He's so fun to watch. Secondary playmaker. 2 assists per game as a 6'10" forward. It was really good. A positive assist to turnover ratio. When he does a lot of scoring off the dribble is really impressive. He gets to the line great. He's beating good teams. He just carried his team with Henry Vassar in that front court to a win against a good Kentucky team, a sliding Kentucky team, but still a ranked Kentucky team. So he's been really good this whole season. Really impressed with him. He's number 4, and most years he would be much higher. But the rest of these guys have just been too good to leave off. And we're going to get to number 3 here, Yaxel Lendeborg, small forward, power forward from Michigan. And listen to these stats. And he had a slow start to the year. Came off the bench in one game, had a hand injury, so he wasn't playing very well. But he's averaging 16 points. He's averaging, 7.6 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.4 blocks, 1.3 steals, 1.3 turnovers, and 3.3 assists. That's crazy. He's just so versatile. He's their best defender. He's shooting 61% from the field. He's shooting 39% from 3 on 3 more attempts per game than last year. That is so good that he can just develop that kind of game this late in his college career where he's, upping his three-point attempts by 3 attempts per game, and his efficiency jumps by 4 percentage points. That is crazy. Shooting the free throw line 82%. I can't believe I've been so impressed with his three-point shooting. Every time he catches it, I'm confident it's going in. He's been such a good jump shooter. He's been dunking on guys. He's must-see TV. He's so versatile, makes the right plays. Kind of like somebody else on this list that we'll wait to talk about, but just does it all and does it right. You always think he does the little things right as well. According to Evan Mia, he's the second best player in the country. And again, he has this so much versatility, especially on the defensive end, while scoring 16 points per game on arguably the best team in the country. But coming at number 2, I covered him a little bit earlier. Ryan Conwell, the guard for Louisville. 20 points, 45% shooting from 3 on 9 attempts. He's so physically strong. He gets to the hoop well. He's shooting 5.7 free throws per game at 82.5%. Doing this all in 26 minutes per game. So just dominating really quickly. So really impressed with him. He's number 2. Probably the best player and the best offense in the country, and I believe they're going to have a deep run in the March Madness tournament if they continue to play this way, especially if he continues to play this way. You can't not talk about him. He's been the best transfer in the country this whole season. But coming in at number 1, he continues to win no matter what level he's playing at. People say, oh, he plays, good length, he's going to struggle. He's not going to be able to do the things he did in high school. Well, he did it. It's Cam Boozer, forward for Duke. And this is after these averages are before a huge game of Florida. We had 25-plus points. He's averaging 22.9 points, 9.8 rebounds, 3.9 assists, only 1.3 turnovers, but 2 steals, 1 block. Just does it all. Again, this list is a lot of big forwards who kind of do it all, but he does it all and then some, especially offensively. 57.8% shooting from the field, 39% from 3, shooting 7.4 free throws a game. Just really smart. You can see he understands the game. His footwork's great. His patience is great. His balance is great. He's just such a load on the interior to handle. He's big. He's strong. Empowered them to a good win against an Arkansas team, had 35 in that game. Just kind of takes over. He can do it from the post. He can do it off the dribble. He knows that he's big and strong, and he uses that. He takes the defense, gives him. He's just so smart. Takes care of the ball. Evan Mia has him as the number 1 ranked player in the country and the number 1 ranked offensive player in the country. He's just a hub. He can do it all. If he continues to play this way, this Duke team's going to be really hard to beat come March. But you guys, that is Wednesday's episode. Covered the best games from last night, from Tuesday. Some good upsets, some good game winners. Covered what games to watch the rest of this week, or just Wednesday and Thursday, and then covered the top 5 players so far this year. If the award is given out today, but make sure to follow, share with your friends and family. It's really appreciated. If you love college hoops, I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. So that's Eastern time. It's also on YouTube if you want to watch the video version. It's nothing too much, just me with my hood up right now because I didn't want to do my hair. So you guys, thank you for watching. This is College Basketball Courtside. My name is Mitch, and have a great day.